Most people don't know this, but there is such a thing as exercise procrastination. Here are 3 characteristics of exercise procrastination. You exercise based on your mood of the moment. You go into the gym, or you go into your exercise area in your home, or you work out with a buddy, and you say, okay, let's just pick whatever we feel like picking based on today. So exercise procrastination leads to picking whatever you want in the moment. It feels good, it scratches an itch, right? You feel good in what you chose. It also leads you to feel fulfilled. You said, yes, I picked the exercise and I felt great about what I did. It allows you to look back and you go, that was a good exercise session. I got a sweat, I worked my body, it was all good. The point is that you say there is some power to randomness. If I pick some random set of exercises, I know it's all going to work out. Therefore, it gives me more courage when I go back in to pick exercises at random and just use my intuition or my mood or what feels good at that moment. Exercise procrastination is when you don't actually get anything done. I mean, you do a bunch of movements and you exercise, but you're not building something. You're not stacking some level of skill on top of the other one. You're not deliberately learning something. Your brain and your body are not getting smarter. Now, I'm not debating that you're sweating. And I'm not even saying picking some exercises based on your mood of the moment is bad. There's enough information out there to say that your brain is wired to your body. And if you want to challenge your brain while you exercise, you need to build a skill. You need to ask yourself, what sort of references am I using inside of my body for this movement? You got to make the exercise a little bit more cognitive by setting up some references. And you can't do that by showing up and picking them at random. It just does not work that way. Fail to see results outside of exercise procrastination is that they fail to track. Exercise procrastination and a failure to track are closely related. Because if you're picking something at the mood of the moment, failure to track is failure to keep tabs on what you're doing. But the problem with tracking is actually not seeing a pattern. You're tracking everything. Say you have 100 of your workouts and you look at all of them. There will be no pattern to recognize. There's no skill being built because you didn't track it, but also you didn't plan ahead. You didn't say, all right, we want to be here. Let's reverse engineer it. Or here's our ultimate movement capabilities. Let's set up some milestones so we can reach that objective. No. You're looking back through a bunch of data saying, I hope I find a pattern. Oh, I do upper body every X, Y, Z or day. That's great. That's the first level. That's the entry level. Level 2 would be, all right, because it's upper body day, what capabilities or what tissue tolerances or what lines of tension am I trying to teach my shoulders to do? What am I trying to teach my chest to do? I want my chest to be more relaxed more often. I want to feel it's firm, sure. But then if it's firm, then what? Do you want it to be firm and tight? Do you want to be firm and loose? So people fail in exercising because they pick the mood of the moment, exercise procrastination. People mess up exercising because they fail to track. But the problem with tracking is they justify their exercise routine because they find a pattern. Say, look, I did 6 days a week. Well, that's fabulous. Sometimes it's great just to get in the workout because 5 is better than 2. Kind of my rationale. If you exercised twice a week and you gave yourself spaced repetition where you only trained a certain skill of movement on Mondays, you would need the other 6 days to recover. You could not do that again on Wednesday. It's not a daily practice. When you're studying, there's a ton of research out about the brain that says spaced repetition is much better for learning. And I'm suggesting spaced repetition is better for movement skill development. So if you were going to exercise twice a week, but you were building a skill, that would be better than exercising 5 times and not developing a skill. Because the skill you build will stay with you with time because your brain and your body, it's wired in. What fires together, wires together. So when you're building a skill, it's more likely that your mind and your body are going to be in sync about what you're trying to achieve with that movement objective. So mood of the moment, that exercise procrastination, that's not going to create spaced repetition, and that will not build a skill. Tracking, looking back and trying to find a pattern, that's obviously not building a skill because you're just looking back over data saying, I hope something appears here. So the answer is setting clear objectives, starting with the end in mind, setting up some clear milestones or reverse engineering it. You're setting up and breaking down the skill. Okay, what's the entry level to developing this skill of movement in the shoulders that I need? And you extract the variables or the components of that movement and you train them independently and then together. Spaced repetition is wonderful for skill development, so you don't need a daily practice. You don't need to train it 5 days a week. You need 2 to 3 days really focused in spaced repetition because you need the days off. You got to hit the hard reset button so your mind and your body can reset and relink so they can get in sync so the new operating system can take root. So, in the end, here are the key principles. Exercise procrastination happens, and following your mood of the moment, while it feels good in the moment, might not lead to building a real skill. Where the critical counterintuitive, what feels wrong at the moment, might be following a plan, might be only doing a certain style or set of movements once or twice a week, and that will build skill. Spaced repetition, it's proven the brain learns, and we know the brain and the body are connected. So if you like this, check out my YouTube, DominicSessa.com. If you're on my newsletter, thanks for being here, and we'll talk again soon.